Most of you guys who are watching this video right now are competing on tactics. You're doing content like swipe my secret script. Here's my proven framework. Here's the 5 steps to accomplishing XYZ. And then you're wondering why your lead quality isn't exactly where you want it to be. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. So there's actually an invisible game that only the advanced marketers know how to play and know how to win it. But in this video, I'm literally going to break down what that game is and how to use Facebook's new learning machine, Andromeda, so that you can not only play it, you could rig the game to win it for yourself. But before you can understand how to play, you have to understand this basic principle that there are 3 different types of buyers. And what I'm about to say is something that you've likely heard in bits and pieces, but you've never heard the full explanation. So there's 3 different types of buyers. The first type are beginners. These are your buyers that are going to say, can I have that script? Can I see your process? They don't have the volume. They haven't taken a lot of action. And most of the time, those are the people that are going to want results now. And honestly, they're the hardest people to get results for because they're at the beginning stages of their game. So that's level 1 buyers. Then there are level 2. These are the intermediate buyers. So these are people that are doing the work. So for instance, they will use your sales script, but then on the sales call, they won't close that sales call. And they'll blame it on the low quality leads. They'll blame it on this and that, but they don't actually understand that the problem is their skill set. Then there are the level 3 buyers. These are the people that once I understood how to market to them, I started attracting more of them. And that's what I'm going to break down in this video is how to reach the level 3, the advanced buyers, because these are the people to get the easiest results for, and they're happy to pay you whatever you're worth. But a lot of you guys need to change the way that you're marketing. And so that's what we're going to break down for the rest of the video. But first, what are these advanced buyers? So the advanced buyers, these are the people who they've been doing the marketing game for years. Like they understand the tactics, they know them, they've pretty much mastered them, they understand the strategy, they don't need to know more information. They understand that the problem that's holding them back is themselves. It's something that's internal. And so the way that we market to these people is going to be completely different than the way that you're going to market to the level 1 buyers and the level 2 buyers. But here's the thing. A lot of you guys right now are going to listen to me say this and you are going to mishear what I just said, because you're going to take this information and you're going to say, well, Laurel says I should only be marketing to level 3 buyers. That is not true. Level 3 buyers are the highest targeted group of people. So that means that there's a smaller pocket of them. You still need to market to level 1 and level 2. And I'm going to break down that entire sequence of how you fill your bucket with leads that are both qualified and leads that will actually grow into being qualified, because that's the secret to keeping your lead costs down. And this is the game that a lot of the advanced marketers are playing, but a lot of them are teaching you guys how to only target one of those groups of people. Why? Well, because they don't want you to know that this game exists, because that's how they're getting everyone to buy. So let's actually break down what this looks like in practice. Each of these types of buyers are going to consume content in 4 different ways, okay? So we've got 4 different lenses in which people consume content. And this is true for any type of audience. This doesn't matter whether you're selling e-commerce, whether you have a brick and mortar, whether you're selling an online product. There are going to be people who are going to consume content through 4 different lenses based upon their sophistication, okay? So the very first one is actionable. This is likely the content that you're doing right now. You're teaching people how to do something. You're teaching people how to solve a problem. This strategy is one of the most important strategies in your business, because this is what's going to create volume. And this is what is going to position you as the person who solves XYZ problem. And so that is why we don't want to stray from doing actionable type of content. We need that content in order to take people from not ready to buy all the way to ready to buy. There's just a certain sequence that we need to do in order to create that buyer journey. So the first type of content is actionable. So this is going to be the type of video like, here's how to close 20% more sales calls, right? Now, this type of content, though, just understand it's going to repel the people who already know how to do the strategy, which are your level 3, right? Your advanced buyers. But you need to create the volume. The second type of content we need to be creating is analytical. These are for people who are very logic driven. That is people like me. I love looking at the numbers. I love seeing proof that the math actually works. But that type of content is going to repel the people who just want the action steps. You see how that works? But analytical content is super important. If we're only heavy in one of these, we're only going to be reaching 25% of our audience. So far we've got actionable content and we've got analytical content. We're stair-stepping into more buyer sophistication because the aspirational is going to be a little bit of a step up. These are going to be the pieces of content that are going to show people that your strategy not only works, but it works for people like them. And so these are going to be your case studies. These are going to be your testimonials. This is going to be for people who just need to believe that it works for people like them. This is going to attract people who are already in the market for something of what you're selling, but we just need to get them over that next hump of believing that your tactic or your strategy actually works for people like them. Then we've got the last one. This is going to target a highly sophisticated audience, but it's going to appeal to those level 3 buyers. Remember, these are the people that already know that the problem is likely internal. They're doing all of the right things, but they understand that they have some sort of block from getting it to actually work for them. This type of content is the type of content that I've been doing a lot lately. A lot of you guys have been telling me, Laurel, I see that you're doing slightly different types of content. Can you kind of tell me the story behind that? And so this is your story behind that. It is because I am now filtering my level 1, level 2 buyers from my level 3 buyers. And the type of content that does that is called anthropological. This is going to be for the people who they don't need to know how to do something. They already know how to do it. They don't need to know the numbers. They've already seen the numbers. They already have their own data. 3, they've already have people in their network who are already having success. They know that it's something internal. And so instead of me doing pieces of content like, here's how to launch, my $5 a day strategy, I'm telling people, look, here's the reason that your ads aren't working. Because here's the thing, you're taking all of the right steps, you're pushing all of the right buttons, you're creating all of the right content topics, but here's the disconnect from your energy that you are putting out into doing that strategy. And so it's a higher level of sophistication. And these are the people that are already used to spending a lot of money because they've already tried to solve this problem over and over again. This is the problem that's actually keeping them up at night. So how do we rig the game to win with Facebook's Andromeda? Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, Andromeda is Facebook's new learning machine. This is built to literally connect the right type of content with the right person. You see, Facebook's algorithm started getting a little faulty when AI came out and people were creating multiple hooks, multiple pieces of content, and Facebook's algorithm just kind of lost sense of, where do I put all of this content? It kept getting lost and hallucinating. And so Facebook had to build Andromeda. And what Andromeda is actually built to do is built to get all of these signals from all of these different pieces of content and feed it back to the machine so that it can use these signals to match the right piece of content with the right type of person at the right time. Here's the thing though. Internet marketers be internet marketers, and internet marketers want to see Andromeda as this quote sales machine, but it's actually a content matching machine. Now, can we as internet marketers take advantage of it? Hell yeah, but we have to first understand how it's built to connect people with our content or our ads. In my world, content and ads aren't different. You see, paid ads are just organic content with money on it, and organic content is just free advertising. So, how do we take advantage of this new learning machine that Facebook has just graced our presence with? Well, we actually need to create these 4 different lenses in every single piece of content that we do. And by the way, this actually makes the whole content process much easier. Instead of coming up with new content, you're just doing the same content topics over and over again, but you're doing them through these 4 different lenses. So let's actually break that down, what that actually looks like, okay? So let's say that I do a video on how to revive your dead webinar funnel using a $5 Facebook ad, right? That is very actionable. That is going to attract a lot of people who are ready to take action on solving that problem. The next piece of content that I might do is here's how a $5 ad brought in over 200 triage calls in the first 48 hours. And then I might break down the math behind what were the webinar numbers before, what were the numbers after I actually implemented this $5 ad strategy. That is analytical. That is going to appeal to people who need to see the proof that this actually works. And if someone just watches the video, here's how to revive a dead webinar with a $5 ad, people might see that video and be like, I'm not sure if this works. But if I break down the numbers, you can't disprove math. Math just maths. And so now I've taken that, I wonder if that works. And now I've proven that it does. Then in the next piece of content, I'll take it one step further. Maybe I'll do a case study interview with one of my students who actually used that strategy in order to get more webinar registrations or more calls after watching that webinar. So now I'm ready for that next super high advanced level. And I could do something like, here's why, no matter how good your webinar script is, it will never convert to buyers. Ooh, that has a very different feel to it, right? And so it's always the why. Like, why is something not working? Even if you're doing all of the right things, why is that not working? And that is what sophisticated buyers want to know, because remember, they've tried everything. They know how to do things. They've executed the strategy. They have the volume of leads coming in, but they're still struggling to convert them. And they know that something is going on internally. And so they just want to know that you are the person that understands that problem at a deeper level. They don't want more tactics or strategy. They want to actually fix that internal problem. And so if we feed Facebook each of these different types of content, Facebook's going to pull all of those signals from people watching those pieces of content. But here's the magic of Andromeda. Andromeda actually can see the entire buyer's journey. And so Facebook is actually built to show actionable content at the right time, the analytical content at the right time, the aspirational content at the right time, and the anthropological content at the right time. That is literally what Andromeda is built to do. It's built to match the right type of content with the right type of person. My mentor, Nick Peterson, and I did a full workshop. It's 90 minutes long, and it breaks down those 4 lenses at a much deeper level. But it also teaches you how to work in 2 things that will make that content even better. And one is eliminating false beliefs, and 2, language that will get people to adopt your mechanism, because it's not just about eliminating false beliefs. Sometimes you have to get people to actually adopt your mechanism. And that is all inside a 90-minute workshop. I'm going to gift that to you. All you need to do is drop a line below this video and I'll send it to you straight to Messenger. I won't ask you for an email or any type of information like that, because I know if you're still watching this video right now, you're going to enjoy that workshop. So it's my gift to you for watching.